Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Argent Saga, and today we will be going over the light section of the set one Betrayal in the Argent Saga trading card game. This will be all the commons, uncommons, and rares, or the rares, I believe they're called in the name, and then the super rares. Today is the 10th, I believe, the 10th or 11th, one of those. The 9th, even worse. I just don't know what day of the week it is. This video was supposed to be out yesterday, but just some stuff happened. So it's going to come out today, and I should have Wind out tomorrow. I'll probably record that today, but anywho, we're going to jump right in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. Feel free to comment down below your opinions on it, and maybe we can get a fun little discussion going. Let's just keep it civil, though. So, anywho, let's get into it with our first card. It is Astonishing Betrayal. It's a 1-drop instacast spell, and it reads, destroy target unit that dealt damage this turn. So, this card's pretty decent. I think it could be really good in the Betrayal format, which is the starter and then three packs of Betrayal. But I don't know if it'll see constructed play, maybe out of the sideboard against like really aggressive matchups. But card's not bad, especially for it to be instacast. Plus the artwork's kind of just, it's interesting. I don't know. But I think the card's pretty decent. It might see play in like limited, but I don't think it'll see play in constructed. So next up we have a Blessed Shard Cloak. It is a 1-drop augment gear, so this is something that you attach to your creatures. And it reads equip target unit, so the gear clause, and then it cannot be targeted by spells. So I'm guessing it's the equipped creature cannot be targeted by spells, which is pretty good. Gives an added layer to protection, pretty much against light decks and pretty much against like the Jamail, I think you pronounce them right. I think that's how you pronounce them. I don't know. I probably butchered the name. But the blue-white deck that's seeing a lot of play and is doing really well right now. Can't really target this. A lot of removal can really get around it. So it's pretty good. You pretty much have to use Guardian to deal with it or to like crash in with it with stuff with like target attack and stuff. So not too bad. I think the card's pretty good. I don't know if it might see sideboard play, but I don't know about actual constructed play. Anywho, so next one is Brilliant Barrier. It is a 1-drop instacast spell. It reads, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn. So this card's pretty good. If you're trying to save something, it's a 1-drop, just prevent all damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn. Yeah, so I imagine that this card's used a lot to probably save a lot of your creatures with Guardian, or perhaps like a combo piece. This card could also probably be splashable in when you're running Sola as a spirit in other decks, like green-white or red-white or something like that. So an added layer of protection is definitely not bad. I think I might see a little bit of constructed play, but maybe just out of the sideboard as of right now. It's pretty good in the limited format. Just to make sure that like all your key pieces stay alive, like your Quorum Assassin and the guy that brings stuff back. But anywho, next one is Supply Deal. There's a lot of hype behind this card, and it's a 1-drop spell, so you only play it during your turn. It doesn't have instacast, but it says discard 1 gear from your hand and then draw 2. So this card essentially lets you cycle 2 cards, which is pretty good in white. I think if you're splashing colors, at least for consistency, this card should definitely go in it. And if not, you can just run a straight mono light build with this card, because you'll discard a gear that you plan on using later, draw 2, and then you can play the one, I think it's like Quorum Blade Master, I think his name is, where he gets a gear from the discard and attaches it to him. So it's not a bad card. I definitely think it makes the deck faster, which the deck really needs. So plus, draw power in white or in light just seems really strong compared to most of the draw power being in blue as of right now. So I think the cards are really good, and I definitely think it's going to see constructed play. Next up, we have Vise Blessing. It is a 1-drop spell, so you can also only do it during your turn. And it says, choose one, add up to 2 target gears from your discard zone to your hand, or you can equip target gear from your discard zone to target unit you control. So this card also synergizes pretty well with Supply Deal, where you can potentially just on turn 1, discard a gear, draw 2, and then next turn, play something Vise Blessing, your gear that you just discarded onto it. And like this card just lets you like essentially use more cards from your discard. Plus, this can recycle 2 gears if you need to. So, it definitely seems like this card lets your discard zone be more of a toolbox and potentially a second hand depending what you have in there. So I think the card's pretty good. It might see some play as like a 2 or 1 of, but definitely a really good card. I'm looking forward to opening this in like the Betrayal format because I feel like this card's going to be really good. Next up, we have Quorum Reinforcements. It is a 3-drop spell, still only during your turn, but you put 2 Knight unit tokens into play. They're Knight light units at 1,000. So for 3 power, you get 2,000 worth of power on the board. Or for 3 shards, you get 2,000 worth of power on the board, which is pretty good. They're definitely more fodder for you to attach stuff to, which I think the deck kind of needs. At least better ones compared to like the 1-drop that like you can like combat trick and give stuff +5. I don't know. I also think this card could be really good in like an aggressive deck. Like turn 1 play something with quickness, implying something has quickness. Turn 2, either something else with quickness or like something to stay on board, and then turn 3 play this. You have 4 stuff open. Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about that, that's probably not the best way to do it because it kind of takes up more spots, and that's not really what you want. So, I don't know. Like, I like the idea of this card because, like, I think I'm used to like most other TCGs where, like, you know, making 2 guys is really good, but this, I don't know. I think it has its moments where it could be really good and like you create attachment fodder, but at the same time, like, unless the attachment fodder is like stuff that gives you guardian or target attack. Like, you're just taking up 2 unit spaces on the board. Granted, this card could be really good late game. So, I don't know. I think the card could see some constructed play, but I don't think it's very likely. I think this card will definitely see the Betrayal format play. But, I don't know. I'm very skeptical about the card now that I'm, like, thinking about it more. So, alrighty, next card, we have Quorum Sniper. This is a unit, so one of our first units we get to see is a 3-drop 15, and it has exhaust, so you'll tap it or put it in horizontal to discard 1 gear from your hand, deal 1,000 to target unit. So this card also has a lot of synergies with Vi's Blessing, where you can essentially start pinging stuff on the board. This card could also be really good where you just chain attacks together. And so you'll discard a gear, deal 1,000 to something, and then tag into it. You can also do this after you draw. So essentially your line of play would be draw your card per turn. Before you untap, exhaust this card, discard 1 gear from your hand, deal 1,000 to something. You go to your untap step, untap everything. And then you can either do it again to almost guarantee you're killing something with 2k, attack with it to get rid of something that's 2,500, or just really gives you a lot more tricks. And I think it could be really good because I don't know if you want to make this in constructed because I feel like you'll need at least 3 of this and 3 of the Vi's Blessing, but I think if you get 3 of this and 3 Vi's Blessing in your Betrayal pool somehow, you should definitely be playing this combo, especially if you're in light, because oh my god, that just seems really strong. Especially since you can add 2 gears back to your hand, so that's 2 times you get activated as well, so that's pretty strong. So I think this card's pretty good. I don't know if it'll see constructed play, like I said, but it might see Betrayal format player. Next up, we have Quorum War Room. It is a 2-drop augment, so this is not an augment that you equipped. So this is one of the augments for light that does not equip. And it says gears your gears cost 1 less to play, which is pretty good, honestly. A lot of them are already 1-drops, so most of them just become 0. So just 0 to attach stuff is pretty good. And it has exhaust, sacrifice this card, equip target gear from your discard zone to target unit you control. So again, this card has synergies with a lot of things, such as the sniper and supply deal. So you just get to essentially recycle. This also pretty much gives you like the chance to like use your discard more, and it basically becomes a second hand for all your gears. So it's pretty good. I think a pretty decent model light deck could be coming out of this set. I'm not sure. If not like a mid-rangey type deck, but I don't know. We also haven't seen the Argent rares for it yet. We've seen Fire and Wind so far, I believe. Yes. So hopefully we'll see those soon, but definitely think this card's good. I definitely think if you're trying to make just a straight up mono light deck, or even just like a light whatever type deck, this card should definitely be in it, because your deck's going to revolve around gears, and this card makes all your gears become 0 to little cost. So next up we have Shard Sword Nova. Ooh, that artwork's really nice. It's a 1-drop spell with instacast, so you can play it during either player's turn. As an additional cost to play this card, discard a gear or sacrifice a gear you control. Destroy target unit with cost 3 or less. So, not too bad of a spell. I definitely think we'll see more play in the Betrayal format than Constructed, because I can't really see you like wanting to get rid of most of your gears, at least in your hand. Or in your hand too often. Because yes, you're able to recycle them with certain cards, like Vi's Blessing and the War Room. But at the same time, you don't want to do that constantly. But just straight up like removal to a 3 or less is also pretty good. So, I don't know, it might see constructed play, but it's very unlikely. But the card's still pretty good. Just straight up removal in the Betrayal formats is really good. This is definitely one of the key cards I would imagine you probably want to be looking for. At least if you're in that color. So next up we get into the rares, or the uncommons in this game. Raza, Knight of Unity. He is a 3-drop unit knight that is 1,500 power. He has an arrive. You can expel any number of gears from your discard zone. Put into play a knight token from your deck with total cost equal to the number of gears you expelled. So this card's not bad. Like, you can pretty much get any knight that you want. So if we see some really busted knights coming out soon, he could pretty much just tutor up whatever you need, and then you can go for the kill. But I don't know if you want to expel gears from your discard, because everything else we've seen is kind of like revolving around your gears being in your discard, so you can recycle them from your discard. I don't think anything lets you recycle anything from your expel yet, so card might be good. We'll have to see, and it just depends on the knight's energy, honestly. But not a bad card. Next up, we have Mel Quorum Magician. He looks so happy on his ox. God bless him. So, he is a 3-drop, 1,500 unit, just a unit, and he has an arrive. If you have 3 or more gears in your discard zone, draw 2 cards. So when I originally read this card, I thought it would be really difficult to get 3 gears in your discard, but with all the amount of discarding and sacrificing gears, and just, if you attach something with target, with a sword, and it crashes into something because it'll have target attack, you can easily get 3 gears in the discard before this guy comes out. So he's definitely not bad. I don't know. I definitely think he'll see Betrayal format play, without a doubt. I think he's also a pretty decent body to attach certain equipment to. I don't know if he'll see constructed play, though. I think if he does, it might just be just for the fact that he draws 2, and he just adds consistency for that deck. But I think that's more leaning towards like the mono-colored one. But not a bad card still. Next up we have, oh man, I'm going to butcher this name. Y'all get ready. Longinus Mythical Shardlance. Oh boy. So it is a 2-drop augment gear. Equipped to target unit. And it gets plus 1,000, so I'm guessing it gets plus 1,000 power. You can sacrifice it. It deals 1,500 to target unit, and you can only control one Longinus Mythical Shardlands. So this card's really good. I think this is one of the chase augments out of the set. Just the fact that it pumps something by 1,000. So if it already has Guardian, it's staying alive a little longer. You can sacrifice it on either player's turn to deal 15 to something. So you can, oh man, you can do a lot of fun stuff with this. You can sacrifice it to deal 15, add it back to your hand with Vi's Blessing, discard it through the sniper, deal another 10, and then if you have Quorum or the War Room out, you can pay 1 and attach it to either the sniper or something else. So to shoot it, I mean, so this card's really good. I definitely think this card's going to be one of the chase cards, at least for constructed. And I feel like if you're running light, you should definitely run this card, whether it be Betrayal or Constructed, because I think this card's an absolute house. Next up, we have Caliber. Okay, cool. Caliber. The Sacred Shard Sword. It's a 2-drop augment gear, so same thing as the last one. Gets plus 1,000, equipped it to target unit. Sacrifice this card. This turn, the equipped unit cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. Draw one card. You can only control one caliber of the Sacred Shard Sword. So this card's also really good. It's an added layer of protection, which probably makes I forget the spell. We just went over it a little bit ago, but it probably makes that card a little more optimal. I guess it really just depends on your deck and what you're like leaning more towards. But also the fact that it replaces itself once you sacrifice it to prevent it from being targeted from spells and abilities. And the fact that it also gives 1,000 power, so if you put it on something with target attack, it can just crash into things and still save it. So this card's really good. I also think these two gears are almost like they're definitely the chase gears, and I feel like if you're really into like the whole like equipment light type deck, you should definitely run these. Like these should be like the first card you pick up if you have the chance. So next up, we get into our rares, and I think we're heading towards the end of it now. So, but this is oh man, I'm gonna butcher his name too. Artred, the Luminous Knight or Warrior. My bad, I read his unit type. So, but he is a 6-drop unit knight. Got that right, and he's a 4,000. He has Guardian, so he can protect your stuff, and he has an arrive of target up to 2 different gears in your discard zone and equipped it to this creature or to this card. So this card's pretty good. The fact that he's a knight, you can use Raza to expel 6 gears to bring him out, which is already really hefty of a cost now that I'm thinking about it, but like it's still an option for you to do. Might be really good for you and limited depending how many gears you get. But just the fact that like in the Betrayal format, if you give him, the lance and the standard shard sword, he has target attack. He can sack him. He can sack it all. The lance to deal 15 to something, and he essentially becomes a 55. So there's tons of things you can do with him. I think I like the fact that he already has Guardian built in with him. Because if you just attach those, you have a 55k Guardian, and that's almost guaranteed to kill everything. So, I don't know. I think the card might see play. I think 6 is a really steep cost, but at the same time, I also feel like it's kind of on curve with everything. Because like you're already paying 6 for like Azure Stormcaster to pretty much win you the game. But I don't know if this guy like puts you in there, but he's definitely a really good card. So maybe depending however the game goes, and if the game goes slow enough in your favor, it'll work out for you. And I definitely think in the Betrayal format, he'll probably do pretty well. Like if you pull this guy and you have the light deck, you should definitely run him. Seems like a house in that deck. Next up, we have probably one of the best constructed playable cards that we're going to see, and it's a real simple card. It's a Finishing Ray. It's a 4-drop spell, so you can only do it during your turn, which is fine. But it literally just says destroy all units. So it's a Wrath of God for any of you that play Magic, Dark Hole for anyone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! But this card's real good. It's a card that's pretty much going to be splashed in every light deck and every deck that's currently running Sola. So like your Hoenna Solas, your Jermiel Solas, even your Dragglehold Solas will probably want to splash this card just because, if they create a board state, get rid of everything. So I think this card's great. It's going to see play in every format that it's playable in, and I think this card's actually probably going to be one of the money cards out of the set, especially for only being a super rare. So definitely pick up as many copies as you can. I think this card's going to see a lot more play, and who knows, it may even get banned like a few years down the line because this card's really good. So on to the next and our last card, we have Omega Magic Hikari. It is a 2-drop spell with instacast. You can put into play 1 knight unit with Guardian. It is a knight unit with 1,000 power. If you have 2 or less towers remaining, put into play 2 tokens instead. So the Omega Magics are the line of cards, or they're a series of cards. They're all pretty good. This one's not too bad. I feel like this card can be both offensive and defensive, especially when it gets late game, because this card can essentially, when they declare their attack, you can instacast this card, put in a Guardian or 2, and then block. Or during their turn, if you're still alive and you have spaces open, you can Omega Magic put in two night tokens, equip one of them, or equip them both on your turn, and then attack for game. So I definitely think this card's going to be really good. I don't know how expensive it's going to be, like money-wise, but I definitely think this card's really good. This is another one of those cards that if you get it in your Betrayal pool, you should definitely run, because this card by itself can potentially just win you a game, or save you from a game. So, card's really good. Definitely going to see play in Constructed, or I'm pretty sure it's going to see play in Constructed, and I definitely can guarantee you it should see play in the Betrayal format. But, that being said, that's all the cards we are going to get into today. Tomorrow we should have the Wind review. So I hope y'all have a great day. If y'all have any concerns, y'all think I'm wrong, or if y'all just want to talk, feel free to message down below. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.